आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। विवेक चूड़ामणि में we were studying 75th number verse complete कर चुके थे. So the next verse we had already started discussing in the previous class, the 76th verse. So up to the 75th verse, the Guru is instructing the disciples. Guru ने शिष्य को कह रहा है कि ये जो देह अहंकार मन करके जो तुम्हारा बंधन जो भी है, वॉट एवर इज बाइंडिंग यू, इट कुड बी द बॉडी, इट कुड बी द माइंड, इट कुड बी योर ईगो, इट कुड बी योर रॉन्ग अंडरस्टैंडिंग, इग्नोरेंस, ऑल दिस यू नीड टू ओवरकम. ये सब को अतिक्रम करना चाहिए तो मुक्त होना चाहिए. तो अगर तो फिर ये सब को छोड़ना चाहिए, ये सब को अतिक्रम करना चाहिए, तो ये सब को रिफाइन करना चाहिए. तो जैसे श्री रामकृष्ण देव कहते थे कि तो दो तरीक़े का हम होता है ईगो. एक है कच्चा अमी और दूसरा है पक्का अमी करके श्री रामकृष्ण कहते थे कि कच्चा अमी और पक्का अमी की मतलब क्या है, क्या फ़र्क है. श्री रामकृष्ण बहुत सुंदर भावे बहुत अच्छा से समझाते थे उसको. तो अगर नारियल तो जब कच्चा रहता है, जब पूरा राइप नहीं होता है, तब उसके अंदर ऐसे हिलाने से तो पानी का आवाज़ आता है. वर्स नंबर 76 वर्स नंबर, ठीक है. सो इफ़ यू शेक द कोकोनट यू कैन हियर द साउंड ऑफ द वाटर विद इन, जो पानी अंदर रहता है तो उसका आवाज़ सुनाई देती है. तो जब पूरा सूख जाता है, व्हेन इट बिकम्स कंप्लीटली ड्राई, then you don't hear the water but you hear the nut which is separated from the shell. तो वो जो पूरा नारियल सूख जाता है और अंदर कड़कड़ करके आवाज़ करता है, तो निकल जाता है वो अंदर में, तो वो आवाज़ सुनाई देता है. तो ऐसे श्री रामकृष्ण देव कहते थे. तो जब कच्चा अमी रहता है, कच्चा अनराइप ईगो विच इज़ ओवरपावर्ड बाय इग्नोरेंस, अज्ञान से जब ईगो ओवरपावर्ड है, ये जो ईगो है which is unrefined, which is not cultured, which is not seasoned, so which has no understanding behind it, a higher ideal behind it, this ego which leads to more and more bondage, more and more misunderstandings, more and more problems in life, that is called Kacha Ami by Sri Ramakrishna. He says it's an unripe ego which goes on confrontations with people. Whomever it meets, it tries to confront, it tries to influence, it tries to obstruct others. So that leads to more and more bondage. Kacha Ami, Sri Ramakrishna used to say. Then there is the ripe ego, that which is helpful to others, that which is expansive, that which is not only limited to the body, my mind, my selfish desires, which has expanded itself to include the society, to include the nation, to include the world. So that is the ripe ego, which is seasoned by knowledge, which is seasoned by understanding, which is seasoned by compassion, love for others, which is an expansive ego, which is not just limited to my selfishness. So Sri Ramakrishna says that is the ripe ego. Ripe ego hona chahiye. We have to refine our ego. We have to understand what I am, who I am, what are my goals, what are my perspectives, how I interact with others. This is what Sri Ramakrishna says. Yahan par bhi the Guru is telling the Shishya in the verse number 75, you see, Moodha Vishayeshu Baddha, those people who are fools, those people who are deluded, Moodha. The Guru says, these people who are bound only to their sense pleasures, only to their enjoyments, to their understanding of the body and mind, they are Moodha. They don't have discrimination, they don't have understanding, the right thinking. So, Yaeshu Moodha Vishayeshu Baddha Rago Rupashena Sudurdamena. They are bound, they are tied to the world, to the sense pleasures, to the senses by strong bonds of the objects of pleasure and their own sense enjoyments. Did you find it? Yeah. Ayanti niryanti adhaurdhamuchaihi swakarma dutena javena nita. So bound by their own karma, bound by their own selfish actions, bound by their own desires and actions, these people go to heaven and hell. They experience heaven and hell while living in this world. This is what the Guru means here. It doesn't mean that after dying I go to heaven. I don't know what heaven is. After dying I go to hell. I don't know what hell is. How do I know what is the pleasures in the heaven or pleasures in the hell? Just because some scriptures say. Shankaracharya says in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhashya, in the commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Shankaracharya mentions in one place that there is no heaven or hell somewhere else apart from this world. You experience heaven or hell in this earth if you do not behave yourself, if you do not culture yourself, if you do not understand your mind, if your ego is not refined, you start experiencing heaven and hell every moment of your life. It becomes hell for you and for others. If you live a good life, heaven is here on this earth. You create heaven in this earth. There's a beautiful parable, a Christian parable. There was one saint called Postam Prabhu in Christianity. It's a very famous parable. So this person was always helpful to others, was always loving to others, used to always be concerned about others, was always giving to others, trying to help others in their difficulties, trying to make the world a better place to live. And then this was the only thing. He never used to go to the church. He never used to be a regular Christian as we understand it, as somebody understands it, going to the church and trying to pray and all that. All that he believed in was doing good for the world, trying to help others, trying to be good to others, trying to be compassionate. So this was his religion. All this was his God. That was all that he did. And then finally the time came when he had to leave the world. He died. He was taken to hell because he did not go to the church. I mean, this is the story as it goes. We don't know exactly. He was taken to the hell. The gates were opened. He was asked to go to the hell. And then he entered the hell and then found so much of misery, so much of dirt, so much of all things which he did not like everywhere around. People were suffering, people were crying. So he started working, started cleaning up all the rubbish, helping people, trying to go and talk to them when they are in pain and trying to give them some relief. So he went on doing this, and in a course of time, in a few months or by the year, there were flowering plants everywhere, and then people started wanting to talk to him and get relief from the pain and all that suffering. So he had converted hell to heaven by the course of his actions, by his thinking, by his compassion. So this is what Shankaracharya refers to. He says in the Bhagavad Gita Bhashya, you create your own hell or heaven. The hell and heaven is in the mind, not somewhere else apart from this world. So here, this is what the Guru is telling, Shankaracharya is telling through the Guru, Ya eshu mudha vishayeshu baddha. If we are bound to our own selfish sense perceptions, desires, only me and mine, then we create hell for ourselves and for others. We bind ourselves more and more to our body, to our desires, our selfishness. We don't realize the higher purposes of life. We don't find out what is the goal of life. So swakarma dutena javena nita. So these selfish actions, these selfish bonds, these strong bonds of the self, they take me towards death. I don't have to blame others for the problems that I create in my life. Don't blame the parents. Don't blame your friends. Don't blame your enemies. Don't blame anybody else. Swami Vivekananda says, take the entire responsibility on your shoulders. You are the maker of your destiny. Don't blame others. Don't blame fate. Don't blame some star sitting above. Who knows? We don't know. You create your own fate. If your life is good, restrained, conditioned by good impulses, love, compassion for others, service to others, then we create hell, we create heaven in our life, otherwise it is hell for us and others. So this is the important verse number 75. The 76th verse is Shabdadibihi panchibhireva pancha panchatvamapoho swagunena baddhaha kuranga matanga patangamina bhrunganaraha panchabhiranchitaha kim. So यहाँ पर the Guru is giving an example. He says all these 5 senses that we have, the sense of smell, the sense of sight, the sense of hearing, the sense of touch, all these, the 5 senses that we have, each is strong enough, each is powerful to bind us to the world, to the sense enjoyments. Every human being is controlled by these 5 senses, isn't it? What we see, what we hear, what we taste, what we touch. Our whole life is dependent on these sense perceptions. Our understanding of the world itself is conditioned by these sense perceptions. I see something, so I understand this is this, and then so my mind starts getting conditioned by these things that I have been hearing, I have been seeing all through my life. All that I know is conditioned by what I have seen, what I have heard, what people have told me, what I have touched. There is no independent realization in me. I haven't understood something which is beyond what I have seen or heard. Isn't it? God or the essence that is there within, Chaitanya jo hai, that is beyond these senses, that is an extra, out of sensory perception. It is not conditioned by something that I perceive through my eyes or ears. So, Shabdadibihi panchabhireva pancha panchatvamapuhu swagunena baddhaha kuranga matanga patanga meena bhrunganaraha मीना भृंगा नरह पंचभिरंचितः किम. तो यहाँ पर हिरण, कुरंग की मतलब हिरण, deer. So the deer, then the next is hathi, matanga, the elephant, patanga, the butterfly, meena, the fish, bhrungaha is the brahmar or the bee, honey bee. So these examples are given by the Guru here to explain how they get bound by the sense perceptions, their own senses, which are heightened. All these animals, as you know, we humans have these perceptions, but animals have greater perception than us. A dog can perceive much more than a human being. The sense of smell, the sense of sight in an owl, in a bird is much more stronger. Such small eyes, but even the slightest insect, the bird can see. From such far distance, they can come and catch. When the bird sees a butterfly or insect flying, it can go and catch it in the air, whereas we find it so difficult to even hit a house fly in the kitchen or somewhere, isn't it? A mosquito which is disturbing us, it is so difficult to kill it, whereas the birds are experts. Compared to the human being, our faculties, the faculties of the birds, the faculties of the animals is much more advanced, yet they are not as free as we humans are. They are not able to overcome the defects with which they are born. They are not able to be free. They are not able to move about free. They are always constantly trying to avoid death. So the fear of death is constantly behind them. Predation is there constantly behind them. Whereas the human being has overcome all these struggles to a great extent, to a large extent. We have overcome all these fears in order to find something higher in life, in order to do something more creative in life, something which is helpful to humanity. If we don't do that, and if we stick to an animal-like life, then that is hell for us and for others. So this is what the Guru is telling here. He gives these examples. The deer, these are all poetic ways of looking at things. The deer, it is supposed to, it is known to be afraid. It is constantly trying to safeguard itself from the hunter, from the predator. And the deer, it seems the hunter plays the flute or some instrument, some musical instrument, creates a nice noise, and the deer gets attracted. Its sense of hearing is so strong. So it is able to hear the sound, the music, and comes searching the hunter who is creating this music. It does not know from where this music is coming. It comes near the person who is playing the music, and then the trap is set and the deer gets caught. So that is how the poets explain the deer, Hiran, it gets caught because of its sense of hearing. Then the hathi, the example of the elephant is given. The elephant is very sensitive to touch. Such a huge body, such strength it has got, but it is bound by the sense of touch. So the khedda is prepared. You know how they catch the elephants? They prepare huge enclosures, wooden enclosures where the door is very limited. There's only one door. Huge logs are used to prepare the barricades, and then female elephants are kept outside. The elephant, the rogue elephant, comes in search of these female elephants. The female elephants entice it and bring it within the enclosure, and then it is starved and made to listen, obey, and then in the course of time it becomes completely docile and obedient. So it is caught because of the sense of touch. The elephant, such a huge animal, but absolutely bound by the sense of touch. It gets captured because of the sense of touch. Then there is the butterfly, or the insects which fly, which get attracted to lights. So that is how they are trapped. In the night, lights are set up, and then the insects come and fall near the light and they get killed. If you keep a lamp or something, candle, so you can see how many insects come and die, isn't it? They get attracted to the light. So the sense of sight is strong in them. Then there is the example of the fish which gets caught in the hook just to eat that small particle of food or small particle of some meat material which the fisherman puts. So it comes to eat that feed and then gets caught in the hook. So this is the example of the taste. And then there is the Brahmar, the honeybee. The honeybee, the poet explains it in this way. The honeybee starts sipping the honey, nectar, from the flower as the evening comes. It does not realize that the sun is going to set, the flower is going to close, the lotus or whatever the flower. So as soon as the sun sets, the flowers close down, they bloom drops. So the honeybee is so immersed in drinking the nectar, it has started sipping the nectar so much, it is so full of nectar that it is unable to fly also. So heavy it becomes. So then it sits in the flower itself, thinking tomorrow morning again the sun will come up, the flower will again open and I can escape. But most of the flowers die in the night, so it remains closed and then it gets trapped within and it dies. So like this, each of these animals is bound by the extra sensory perception that they have, the capacity of their senses. These could help it to be free, but they are getting bound because of these very senses, these powers which they have. So they don't realize the powers that they have, the potential that is there within them. The human being has got all these five senses: the sense of sight, the sense of touch, the sense of smell, the sense of taste. All these five senses we have. These are the potential that we have. These are the strengths that we have, the positives that we have. So using these, we must get free, become free from the bondages of our mind, ego, intellect, and all this. So if we don't do it, then that is a misfortune. This is what the Guru is saying here. Let us go to the verse number 77. I will read the verse number 77. Doshena tivro vishayah krishna sarpa vishadapi visham nihanti bhoktaram drashtaram chakshushapyayam. Doshena tivro vishayah krishna sarpa vishadapi visham nihanti bhoktaram drashtaram chakshusha api ayam. So the Guru is explaining to the disciple in this verse the Vishayaha, the sense objects, the sense perceptions, the pleasures, the sense pleasures that we experience in this world through our senses. Doshena tipraha, they are all coupled, they are all combined with defects. सबके साथ दोष है. क्या है? तो कितना दोष है? तो बोलते हैं, तो गुरु बोल रहा है कि ये विष जैसा है. It is as poisonous as Krishna sarpadapi visham. So the poison in these is greater than a black king cobra. He says here, the Guru is explaining, he says, Nihanti bhoktaram drashtaram chakshapi ayam. If somebody is bitten by a snake, तो अगर कोई आदमी को, किसी आदमी को सांप ने बाइट किया, तो फिर only that person dies, isn't it? That person immediately dies if the poison enters his body, if the snake bites him. Or if he drinks poison, he dies. The poison enters his body and then kills him. So now, here one has to consume poison or be bitten by the snake in order to die. Whereas, drashtaram chakshusha api ayam, sense perceptions, sense pleasures jo hai, how it deludes us. He says, the Guru says, even by seeing, you get attracted. Even by eating, you get attracted. Desires जो bond होता है, binding होता है, तो repeated actions change the person's character itself, isn't it? Desires, thoughts come, and then इस desires से क्या होता है? आदत बन जाता है, habits हो जाता है. So repeated actions create habits. तो habits से क्या हो जाता है? तो character बन जाता है. तो जब हम चेंज करना चाहते हैं तो हैबिट्स को चेंज नहीं कर सक पाते, क्योंकि रिपीटेड एक्शंस हो चुका है. तो इसलिए तो दोज हु हैव द हैबिट ऑफ स्मोकिंग और some other habits which are called bad habits, drinking, whatever it is, it is so difficult for them to come out of it. There are withdrawal symptoms, so they cannot come out of it. So these habits change the person's character, change the person's thinking, change the person's way of outlook in life. As we find in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. One day Sri Ramakrishna was in Dakshineshwar at that time, and then Rakhal, who later on became Swami Brahmanandaji, such a great spiritual person, but then he had just started coming to Sri Ramakrishna, and then one day Sri Ramakrishna calls him and says, you see, somehow Rakhal comes to Sri Ramakrishna's room, and Sri Ramakrishna looks at him and says, oh, what is it? Something is wrong. I'm not able to see your face. There is something wrong. Something you must have done today. You must have told an untruth. कुछ बुरा कुछ बोला तुमने, असत्य कुछ बोला, तो देख नहीं पा रहा हो, तो तुम्हारा चेहरा पे I can see the cloud on your face. So just by looking at the person, Sri Ramakrishna could identify that कुछ असत्य या कुछ गलती हुआ है इसके. So then राखाल ने सोचा, तो क्या किया मैंने, क्या किया, गलती क्या किया, तो सोचने लग गया. तो फिर कुछ क्षण के बाद बोले, हाँ तो मैंने ऐसे ही तो मजाक में एक क्या बुरा चीज़ बोल दिया. I just made fun and then told an untruth to a friend. He said, नहीं, कभी नहीं बोलना. Even for fun you must not say untruth. असत्य नहीं कहना है. श्री रामकृष्ण ने उसको डांटा. तो ऐसे श्री रामकृष्ण could perceive any change in the character of the person, even by seeing the change in the vibrations, in the mental thoughts that are happening, how the character is changing, how a bad idea is coming into his mind. Sri Ramakrishna could see. So there is another beautiful incident in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Once Sri Ramakrishna, when he was staying in Kashipur during the last days of his life, so Sri Ramakrishna wanted to eat lemons. जो नींबू होता है, तो डॉक्टर ने बताया था कि रोज़ नींबू खाइए, तो अगर आपका जो कैंसर है तो उसके लिए अच्छा है, बेहतर है कि नींबू रोज़ ले सकते हैं. तो तब तो विटामिन सी वगैरह तो नहीं था ऐसे, तो विटामिन सी के बदले में तो ये कैंसर का ये कॉन्कर करने के लिए तो नींबू बोला था. तो रामकृष्ण देव हर दिन नींबू लेते थे दोपहर खाने के समय. तो योगेन, जो योगानंद जी महाराज, श्री रामकृष्ण देव के डायरेक्ट डिसाइपल, शिष्य, तो उन्होंने एक दिन रोज़ लेके आते थे उनके लिए नींबू। तो उस दिन भी एक दिन लेके आए नींबू, बगीचा से नींबू लेके आए। तो फिर रामकृष्ण देव को खाने के समय नींबू दिया गया। तो श्री रामकृष्ण देव बोल रहे तो ये तो आज क्या हो गया है, तो ये नींबू को मैं नहीं खा सक रहा हूँ। आई एम नॉट एबल टू यूज़ दिस लेमन, आई एम नॉट एबल टू टच इट, आई एम नॉट एबल टू यूज़ दिस लेमन. It is from the, then he called Yogen, who said, who brought this? So Yogen brought it. So from where did you bring it? I bring it from the same garden from where I bring it every day. तो इतने दिनों से तो आप ले रहे तो वही बगीचा से मैंने आज भी ये नींबू को लेके आया। तो श्री रामकृष्ण ने बोला ना, तो कुछ तो है, तुम जाके पता कर लो तो क्या हो गया है। तो why am I not able to use it? कुछ तो हुआ है इसके बारे में। So then Yogen went and got hold of the owner of the Bagicha. He called the owner of the Bagicha, Mali, and the owner and said, Sri Ramakrishna is not able to use this lemon. कुछ तो change हो गया है, तो क्या कुछ है क्या? तो then the master, the owner of the garden said, हाँ, तो ये तो अजीब बात है। तो कैसे उनको पता चला कि कल तक ये मेरा बगीचा था, तो जो लीज था तो आज से ये ख़त्म हो गया। तो लीज ख़त्म हो गया तो ये तो छुरी माल हो गया और किसी का है प्रॉपर्टी। तो इसलिए श्री राम कृष्ण यू सी कुड नॉट इवन टच इट on that day. How did he know that somebody's lease is over, that bagicha is from somebody else? So you see how sensitive one can be. We are sensitive to so many things in the world, but how many of us are sensitive to such things? That is the greatness of Sri Ramakrishna. All these great people, we are sensitive to the worldly objects and senses and all that, but there is no point in that. You see, we are bound to all this, whereas we are not sensitive to truth, we are not sensitive to higher ideals in life. So this is the verse which the Guru tells. दोष की दृष्टि से देखे तो भोग्य विषय काले नाग के विष से भी अधिक तीव्र घातक होता है, क्योंकि विष तो खाने वाले को ही मारता है, परंतु यह विषय आँखों से देखने वाले को भी मार डालता है। तो दिस इज व्हाट द गुरु इज सेइंग हियर, जस्ट बाय सीइंग वन थॉट कम्स। सो थॉट से एक्शन, एक्शन से कैरेक्टर, कैरेक्टर से जो हैबिट, हैबिट से कैरेक्टर हो जाता है। सो इट इज़ बाय वन थिंग द लिंक स्टार्ट्स फॉर्मिंग। So it is so difficult to get rid of ourselves when a desire crops in the mind. So the first thing that we need to understand is desires are controlling us. Our life is being controlled by our sense perceptions. We say we are free, but how much of freedom do we have? How much of will, self-will do we exercise in our life to control the life pattern that we are leading? We don't. We go by things as it leads us, isn't it? Just as the dog is carried by the chain. This example, one senior sadhu used to give this beautiful example. So many people go for morning walks with the dogs, with their pet dogs. डॉग को, कुत्ते को ले जाते हैं ना, तो समझ में नहीं आता है कि आदमी कुत्ता को ले जा रहा है ना कुत्ता आदमी को ले जा रहा है वॉकिंग के लिए। इतना खींच के ले जाता है ना कुत्ता, तो बस वो जहाँ पर जा रहा है तो बस आदमी उसके पीछे पीछे दौड़ रहा है। तो ये तो कुत्ता तो वॉकिंग कर रहा है, आदमी कहाँ पर वॉकिंग कर रहा है, तो उसके दास हो गया है, कुत्ता का दास हो गया है। तो ऐसे हम बन चुके हैं, तो हम भी तो सेंस ऑब्जेक्ट्स का, विषयों का दास बन चुके हैं। जहाँ पर वो खींच ले जाता है तो वहीं पर जाते हैं हम, वहीं पर भोग करते हैं। यही समस्या है। सो द नेक्स्ट वर्स, लेट अस गो टू द नेक्स्ट वर्स, 78 नंबर वर्स। विषयाशा महापाशाद यो विमुक्तः सदस्त्यजात् स एव कल्पते मुक्त्यैः नान्यः षट्शास्त्रवेद्यपि। विषयाशा महापाशाद यो विमुक्तः सदस्त्यजात् स एव कल्पते मुक्त्यै न अन्यः षट्शास्त्रवेद्यपि। यहाँ पर गुरु बोल रहे हैं कि इट इज़ नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट हाउ मच यू हैव स्टडीड, It is not important how many books, how many scriptures you have studied, how much of Shastras you know, how many subjects you know. What is more important is to control your mind, control your emotions, control your thinking. So that is more important than being somebody who has got lot of degrees. सब कुछ हो सकता है, तो बस आदमी अगर ठीक नहीं है, कैरेक्टर अगर ठीक नहीं है, तो आदमी कंट्रोल में नहीं है, तो ये सब क्या फ़ायदा है। तो हो सकता है पीएचडी हो चुका है या जो भी हो चुका है, तो कोई मतलब नहीं है, क्योंकि तो हम देखते हैं तो रोज़ पेपर्स में देखते हैं, तो कोई आईएएस ऑफिसर हो सकता है, कोई बड़े बड़े मिनिस्टर हो सकता है, बड़े बड़े पोजीशन में जो है, कंपनी के बड़े बड़े सीईओ भी हो सकता है। तो एक छोटे से गलती काम से बस पूरा निकाल दिया, उसको बदनाम हो गया, पेपर में आ गया सब कुछ ना, तो पूरा लाइफ बर्बाद हो जाता है जस्ट बाय वन डिफेक्ट। एवरेज हो सकता है, ग्रीड हो सकता है, या बुरा काम जो भी है। तो लैक ऑफ प्रॉपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग, लैक ऑफ कैरेक्टर, कितना बदनाम होता है, कितना पूरा दुनिया उसको फेंक देता है। तो दिस इज हाउ वी स्पॉइल आवरसेल्व्स इफ वी डू नॉट ट्रेन द माइंड। सो अनलेस द माइंड इज ट्रेन्ड, अनलेस कैरेक्टर इज फॉर्म्ड, एवरीथिंग बिकम्स अ जीरो। जैसे श्री रामकृष्णदेव कहते थे कि तो आदमी के अंदर सब कुछ हो सकता है, तो शायद वो अच्छा पढ़ाई किया है तो ठीक है, तो देखने में अच्छा है ठीक है, तो पैसा है तो ठीक है, बड़े परिवार से हुआ है ठीक है, सब कुछ ज़ीरो के माफ़ी है, एक गोल के माफ़ी है, ज़ीरो के माफ़ी। तो अच्छा दिखता है तो बस एक ज़ीरो, तो बस ज़्यादा पढ़ा किया है, अच्छा डिग्री वगैरह है तो और एक ज़ीरो आ गया, तो बड़ा परिवार से है तो और एक ज़ीरो है, तो और बड़ा मकान वगैरह गाड़ी वगैरह सब कुछ है तो और एक ज़ीरो लगा दीजिए। सो जितना है उसका टैलेंट, जितना है उसका पॉजिटिव, सब एक ज़ीरो 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 जैसे। तो अगर सामने में एक है, भगवान है, तो कैरेक्टर है, तो उसके जीवन में कुछ होश है, तो फिर एक लगाइए सामने। तो फिर एक टैलेंट है तो 10 होता है, 2 है तो 100 होता है, 3 है तो 1000 होता है, तो 1,00,000 हो जाता है। वैसे वॉट एवर यू हैव इन दिस life, whatever you acquire in this life will be meaningful if there is character, if there is God in your life, if there is morality in your life. अगर वो नहीं है तो पूरा सब कुछ बर्बाद। तो इसलिए सब कुछ ज़ीरो ही है। Nothing is of any value, nothing is of any meaning if there is no character in life, if there is no God in life. So यहाँ पर Guru is saying विषयाशा महापाशादि यह विमुक्तः सुदुस्त्यजात् स एव कल्पते मुक्त्यै न अन्यः षट्शास्त्रवेद्यपि. So suppose there is somebody who is learned in all the six systems of philosophy जो है, न्याय, वैशेषिक, जो आर्ग्यूमेंटेशन में, सांख्य में हो सकता है, योग में हो सकता है, मीमांसा में हो सकता है, वेदांत में हो सकता है, ये सब जो भी शास्त्र है, जो भी सिस्टम्स ऑफ फिलॉसफी है, शायद वो अच्छा से पढ़ चुका है ये सबको। अगर ये सब पढ़कर भी उसके अंदर मुक्ति का आशा नहीं है, if he does not have the desire to be free, if he does not have control over his mind, if he does not have good character, all this is a waste, all this is useless. So Vishayasha Mahapashadi Yaha Vimuktah Dustyajat. This bondage, this binding of the senses is difficult to overcome. So Dustyajat. It is not easy to cut away from our sense bindings, the bindings to the world, the bindings to the sense pleasures, the bindings to our own weaknesses, jo bhi hai. Whatever negatives we have, somebody is getting angry, somebody is getting anxious, somebody is suspecting somebody else. All these jo weaknesses hai in our mind, all these things which bring us down in our life, it is so difficult to get over them. How do you get over anger? How do you get over hatred? How do you get over avarice? How do you get over some misunderstanding with people? How do you overcome all these things, negative things in life? So unless we do it ourselves, nobody else can come and help us. We can get advice, suggestions from somebody, from a friend, from a counselor, from a psychiatrist, from whatever it is, or maybe even take medicines for it. Problems could be there, mental problems could be there. But ultimately, unless we exercise our will, unless we work it out, nothing is going to help. Even the doctor is not going to help. The friend also cannot help. He can give you some directions, he can give you some advice, he can give you some help, emotional support. But unless we work it out, unless we understand ourselves, our mind, the workings of the mind, nothing is going to help. So Vishayasha Mahapashadi Yaha Vimuktah Sudustyajat. So यहाँ पर शंकराचार्य जी कह रहे हैं तो सुदुस्त्यजात, these are difficult bindings. It is not so easy. We can discuss about them, we can try to understand about them, but when we try to overcome them, they become difficult to overcome. They're so difficult. We can understand, yes, I know I'm becoming angry. I know I'm getting bound to something. I'm inordinately attached to sweets. Yes, I go on eating. I have diabetes, but then I have sweets. I'm unable to control my body weight. All these weaknesses I know, but then I'm unable to overcome. So that is why, unless there is willpower, a strong determination to overcome our weaknesses, we cannot be successful in life. Sorry. So, Sudustyajat, it is difficult to overcome these bindings of our sense pleasures. Vishayasha Mahapashat, these sense pleasures, these sense bindings are very strong, they are very difficult to overcome. So he who desires to be free from all these sense bindings, he alone will be completely free. There is no point in being a very learned person if you do not develop your character, or if you do not try to be free from these bindings. So the most important thing is trying to be free from all these bondages, not studies. Studies does not help. It can give you ideas, but it does not reform your character unless you use your discrimination, unless you use your thinking, unless you use your willpower. So this is what the Guru is saying here. Sorry. विषयों की आशा रूपी इस महाबंधन का त्याग करना अत्यंत कठिन है। इससे मुक्त होने वाला व्यक्ति, उसको ही मुक्ति का अधिकारी है, वही मुक्ति का अधिकारी है, अन्य कोई भी, यहाँ तक कि 6 शास्त्रों को जानने वाला भी नहीं। तो हो सकता है तो बहुत विद्वान है, पंडित है, परंतु अगर कैरेक्टर नहीं है तो कुछ नहीं है, तो nobody is going to respect him, nobody is going to listen to him. So this is what the Guru is saying here. Sri Ramakrishna used to give a beautiful example. श्री रामकृष्ण देव कहते थे कि एक गांव था, तो एक गांव में उस गांव में एक केस आया, तो कोर्ट केस कुछ था, तो जिसमें the judge wanted to hear from somebody who speaks the truth. तो what is the antecedents, क्या क्या हुआ है, क्यों ऐसे केस आया है, तो उसके बारे में he wanted the proof, the witness जो है, he wanted to hear from the witness. So but then the judge said, if the witness is not truthful, then there is no point in hearing to his witness, क्योंकि अगर वो झूठ बोलता है तो फिर क्या विटनेस है, वो तो बस कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है। तो सर्च समबडी हु इज़ अ विटनेस हु इज़ ट्रूथफुल करके जज ने बोला। तो फिर कितने दूर दूर से, बस सब गांव से जो ट्रूथफुल पर्सन है, जो सच बोल सकता है, तो उसको ढूंढ के लेके आना पड़ा। तो श्री रामकृष्ण देव कहते हैं, तो 16 गांव से बाहर में जो एक आदमी था सच बोलने वाला, उसको लेके आया, क्योंकि वो डिसाइड करेगा कि वो बोलेगा कि ये सच बात है, ऐसे हुआ है, ऐसे करना है करके। तो इसको इतना सम्मान से पालकी से उसको वो गांव से बहुत 16 माइल दूर में जो गांव था वहाँ से लेके आया उसके बात सुनने के लिए। तो विटनेस, तो ये श्री रामकृष्णदेव कहते हैं, तो सच बात का, तो कैरेक्टर का इतना महत्व है। तो अगर कैरेक्टर है तो सब सम्मान देंगे, तो कैरेक्टर नहीं है तो बस कोई सम्मान नहीं देंगे। हो सकता है कि बड़े बड़े जमींदार भी है, बड़े बड़े पैसे वाले भी है। श्री रामकृष्ण कहते हैं तो बड़े बड़े मुश वाले थे, तो बड़े बड़े पैसे वाले थे, मकान वाले थे, तो कोई उनका बात नहीं सुना। तो दूर से एक गांव का आदमी तो जो सच बोलता है उसको पालकी से लेके आया, क्योंकि केस में विटनेस देने के लिए। तो यही बात है यहाँ पर श्री शंकराचार्य जी भी कह रहे हैं कि शास्त्र ज्ञान हो सकता है, सब कुछ हो सकता है, अगर कैरेक्टर नहीं है तो कोई मतलब नहीं है, इसका कोई वैल्यू नहीं है। तो द नेक्स्ट वर्स 79 नंबर वर्स। आपात वैराग्यवतो मुमुक्षून् भवाब्धिपारं प्रतियातमुद्यतान् आशाग्रहो मज्जयतेऽन्तराले निगृह्य कंठे विनिवर्त्य वेगात्। यहाँ पर शंकराचार्य जी तो गुरु के रूप में बोल रहे हैं कि जे आशाग्रहो मज्जयन्ते अंतराले निगृह्य कंठे विनिवर्त्य वेगात् आपात वैराग्यवतो मुक्षून् भवाब्धिपारं प्रतियातमुद्यतान्। Those who intend to go change themselves, transform themselves, those who want to acquire good habits in life, good character in life, those who want to be free from the bondages, mumukshun, those who want liberation, those who want freedom, those who want to overcome all the negatives in their life, apata vairagyavato mumukshun, unless the determination is strong, unless the willpower is strong, they cannot be successful in their life. So if it is just temporary vairagya, if it is something temporary, the decision to change their life pattern, the decision to change their thinking, the decision to change their habits into good habits, good character, if it is not firm, if it is not a strong determination, then it does not last long. एक दिन कोशिश किया तो बस फिर छोड़ दिया। तो अगर मन के अंदर डिटर्मिनेशन स्ट्रांग है तो फिर लगातार उसके पीछे पड़ता है, तो चेंज हो जाता है, आदमी अच्छा बन जाता है। अगर कोशिश नहीं करता है तो बस एक दिन किया तो बस 10 दिन छोड़ दिया, वैसे तो नहीं होगा। तो यहाँ पर यही शंकराचार्य जी बोल रहे हैं, आपात वैराग्यवतो मोक्षम। ए साधक, somebody who is trying to change his personality, his character to a better purpose, if he does not put in effort, if he does not try sincerely, he will fail, he will lose his track, he will fall down. Bhavabdhiparam pratiyatum udyatan mukshun. Those who are trying to cross this ocean of samsara, bhavabdhiparam, thus samsara, this world is compared to an ocean. How difficult it is to cross an ocean, how difficult it is to swim across an ocean, isn't it? तो अगर आप छोटे एक तालाब में देखें इतना ही वो भी तकलीफ है, परंतु ओशन की मतलब कितना बड़ा बड़ा वेव्स, शार्क्स, वेल्स, all these things are there, and then the direction gets lost. Even those who are expert seafarers, navigators, they get lost in the seas, in the open seas. It's very difficult to know the direction unless you have a compass. Even if you have a compass, there are strong winds, strong waves to make you change the direction. So it is very difficult to cross an ocean. So here the world is compared to an ocean, how difficult it is to cross an ocean. So similarly, in order to be a master of yourselves, in order to be free from these worldly attachments, it is difficult. So bhavabdiparam pratiyata mudyatan apata vairagyavato mumukshun. So a mumukshu, a person who is seeking freedom, a person who is seeking liberation, unless he is strong-willed, unless his discrimination is strong, unless his determination is strong, he cannot succeed, he cannot cross the ocean. Asha graho majjayate antarale. So the Guru is comparing asha, desires, to a crocodile, to animals which live in the ocean, say whales, sharks, all these deadly animals, cruel animals. So these desires can pull us down from our goal. तो एक अच्छा गोल, एक अच्छा आदर्श दिया है जीवन में, बट तो अगर डिटर्मिनेशन ठीक नहीं है, तो मन का शक्ति ठीक नहीं है, इफ वी डोंट यूज आवर एफर्ट्स, then we get dragged down. Just like the crocodile can catch you when you are trying to cross the ocean. Asha graho majjayate antarale. In between a shark or a crocodile or something can come and catch. Nigrahya kanthe vinivartya vegat. Kanthe, by the neck, it holds the person by the neck, and then vegat, with great strength, with great speed, it can overpower the person. So if you have seen how the crocodiles attack or how the tiger or the lion attacks, there is a lot of strength involved. If you know the science of these predators, the first thing that the lion or the tiger or the cheetah does is use its jaws. Its jaws are very powerful, huge, powerful jaws. So the jugular vein, the first thing that they do is attack the jugular vein in the animal, catch the neck of the animal. So, and then the jaws are so powerful that it just twists the head. The jugular vein is simply snapped. If you see the videos, you see the lion or the cheetah, they catch the animal by holding the neck. They hold on to the neck, suck the lifeblood out of it. So the cheetah actually traps the animal by hitting against its leg and then making it fall. So these are the techniques by which these predators hunt. So हो सकता है तो बड़ा strong, even elephants come down because the lions attack it. So जो भी strength है, if it is not helpful, so what is the point in this strength if the thinking capacity is not there, discrimination is not there? This is what the Guru is saying here. So in spite of all the strength, physical strength, mental strength, if we have not got determination, अगर निश्चित बुद्धि नहीं है, तो तीव्रता नहीं है, तो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन में, वैराग्य में तीव्रता नहीं है, तो लक्ष्य में पहुंच नहीं सक पाएंगे. तो यहाँ पर गुरु यही बोल रहे हैं. जो मुमुक्षु, मुमुक्षु के मतलब anybody who wants to achieve anything higher in life. Mumukshu is the person who has desire for liberation. Liberation in the sense in search of God, trying to free oneself from the bondages of the world. Somebody who wants to transform his personality from selfishness to unselfishness, somebody who wants to be more compassionate, more giving. It is so difficult. All these things are the negative traits of our personality. So यहाँ पर शंकराचार्य जी बोल रहे हैं, जो मोक्षो मंद वैराग्य वाले होकर भी भवसागर से पार जाने के चेष्टा करते हैं, आशारूपी ग्राह उनका गला पकड़कर तीव्र वेग से हटाकर उन्हें बीच में ही डुबा देते हैं. तो ऐसे तो इन बिटवीन कितने आदमी छोड़ देते हैं ना. तो बस कोई आईएएस बनने के लिए कोशिश कर रहा है या आईपीएस के लिए कोशिश कर रहा है, और कोई बड़ा एग्ज़ाम के लिए कोशिश कर रहा है, और कुछ करने के लिए तो कुछ आदर्श जीवन में लेके आने के लिए तो कोशिश कर रहा है. बोलते हैं ना, कुछ साल कुछ महीने कोशिश किया तो बस छोड़ दिया, ना ये तो मुझसे नहीं होगा. अरे मुझसे नहीं होगा कि मतलब क्या है? हर एक आदमी के अंदर तो वही पोटेंशियल है, हर एक आदमी के अंदर इतना क्षमता है. देयर इज सो मच ऑफ कैपेसिटी गॉड हैज़ गिवन अस. गॉड हैज़ गिवन अस सच ए वंडरफुल बॉडी, सच ए वंडरफुल माइंड, इंटेलेक्ट, जो एनिमल्स के अंदर नहीं है. कंपेयर टू एनिमल्स, हाउ मच ऑफ wonderful power God has given us. The strength of the intellect, the strength of feeling about oneself, trying to improve oneself. As I always say, no animal, in spite of its strength, the elephant has got huge strength, the lion has got huge strength, the tiger has got huge strength compared to the human being. But then a lion will not think that I have to become a better lion. A tiger will not think I have to become a better tiger tomorrow. Whereas a human being can think. He feels unhappy if he is not accepted in society, if he is not welcomed by people, if somebody criticizes him, he wants to change, he wants to become better, he wants to be more acceptable to others, isn't it? So this is the unique feature in the human being, always wanting to be more acceptable, something better. We are always unsatisfied, dissatisfied with what we are. We want to be better. We want to be better. Every time we make a mistake, we feel so guilty. Why? Because we want to be better. So this is the scope in the human nature, the scope that God has given in us to become infinitely better. That's why Swami Vivekananda says, the purpose of life is to manifest this potential which in the purpose of life is to manifest the potential that is there within each one of us. So the strength, the capacity that God has given us has blessed human beings with all these positive qualities that we have, the power to think, the power to identify the problems, the capacity to overcome the problems. All these we need to use. We need to use these powers in order to liberate ourselves, be more free. So if we don't do this, then life becomes a burden to us and to others. Swami Vivekananda says, the purpose of human life is to manifest the divinity, the potential that is there within each one of us. There is no discrimination. God does not make discrimination. He is not prejudiced. So race, religion, color, all these are secondary details. You see, the capacity in each individual is there. So we manifest it in different ways. Somebody manifests it in talents, in art, somebody is a good engineer, somebody is a good doctor. But then somebody, if we can use these powers in becoming a better human being who is more useful to oneself and to society, who can go beyond the bondages of the senses, who can liberate himself from the bindings of the mind, all the negative thoughts in the mind, anger, kam, krodh, mad, matsar, jo hai, then that is true life. Otherwise, life is absolutely a waste. So this is what Shankaracharya ji is mentioning here. So this entire book itself is on discrimination, vivek, सोचने के बारे में. So how to conquer the defects in our mind, in our personality, in our character. This is the meaning of, this is the main subject of this book, Vivek Chudamani. So let us try with the grace of God to overcome our defects and be men of character. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. On the Jayanti of Ma Sharada Devi, that is the sacred day on which she was born according to the Hindu calendar. So due to the pandemic situation, we shall not have mass gatherings or satsangs as we used to organize every year. So people can come and offer pranams here in the shrine and in the Havan Jaga in the assembly hall from morning 9:30 to 11:30 or in the evening from 5:30 to 6:30. Come and then offer pranams. Please don't spend much time, 5 to 10 minutes maximum. So you can offer pranams and then collect prasad, which will be kept outside on tables. Each of you can collect one box and pay respects to Holy Mother and pray. So this much. And then Kalpataru Day, the 1st of January is known as Kalpataru Day, the day on which Sri Ramakrishna blessed the devotees and then bestowed grace, gave them whatever they wanted. So they all had various spiritual experiences. They all got what they wanted from Sri Ramakrishna on the 1st of January. So that is considered a very sacred, very special day in the by the followers of Ramakrishna Vivekananda. So we don't celebrate it as New Year Day, but then as Kalpataru Day, the day on which Sri Ramakrishna gives whatever you ask. So you can come to the ashram. We used to have satsangs, we used to have prayer meeting and all that, but this time because of the pandemic we shall not have that. So you can come, pray in the shrine, offer your pranams to Sri Ramakrishna. Pray whatever you want, get His grace, and be safe. Allow us also to be safe, be careful, and you also should be safe. This is our humble request.